So my nigga Dot, easy, I'm still with you. Fuck the beef, nigga, I miss you, and that's just being real with you. See, the truth is, everybody wanna know how close me and Snoop is, and who I'm still crew with. Then claiming you're not fine, you're not what you used to be.
What is up? What's up? Please make sure you save this live and just send it through to me so I can post it, okay?
Save it. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Awesome. I'll see. We ain't about that life. We ain't about that I'll see life.
I'll save it.
You'll save it.
I shall.
Perfect.
Ma'am.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome back, SPeeKa. Due to the technical difficulties that we experienced the last time, which was horrible as hell, I'm glad to have you back.
It be like that sometimes. It ain't no thing.
It be like that. It be like that. It be like that.
Thank you for having me back, yo.
No, man, I really do appreciate it. So just to rehash on everything, just starting from the beginning of your journey and what have you, the questions that I just, asked, for people to just be refreshed a little bit. What made you want to do, the documentary film that you did on Slaghuis, and what need was there for you to actually do it?
Okay, all right. And by the way, it's no big deal. I love telling the story. I'll tell it 100 times.
It's all good. We're here for that.
If we live tomorrow, I'll tell it again and again and again. Anyway.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, yeah, previously on the interview, so it started. So it started in 2018, right? 2018, late 2018. I was working with Enzo, one of the co-founders of Slaghuis. We were working on a TV show called Kasirap Records, right? So he needed me to present the TV show. I had never presented anything before, but I immediately agreed because it's Kasirap, like I speak fluent Kasirap, you know what I mean? So September 2018, we shot the TV series. So during the shoot, part of my wardrobe was a whole bunch of dope like Slaghuis t-shirts. And sharp. We shot that in September, and then we tried getting it aired, right? So that took a while, right? That took a while. Fast forward to now, February 2019, right? So now I have the show, 13 episodes, and like nowhere to take it. So we had to meet up with Enzo, not only to discuss that, but to work on other stuff as well, right? So we had a meeting on the 4th of March, right?
Okay. Oh, you even remember the dates. That's how dope it is.
Here's why I remember the date. I remember the date because 2 days before is my birthday. On the 2nd of March is my birthday.
I remember you said, yes.
Yeah. So 2nd of March on my birthday, 2019, there's a 985 gig. 985 shop.
Okay.
So 985 had a gig, and I was DJing at that gig in Deep Kloof, where Slaghuis was formed. So I'm at the gig. I'm rocking. Oh man, I forgot to get the t-shirt ready so I can show you. I want to.
Oh, You came prepared with the T-shirt and everything.
Man. Yeah, but I forgot to have it ready. Yeah, but anyway.
It's all good. It's all good.
So this T-shirt, it says like Slaghuis right here. Slaghuis.
Sure.
Being there. So while I'm at the gig, someone notices the T-shirt. This guy walks up to me and like, yo, you know, SPeeKa. And I'm like, nah, you know, I got it from Enzo. We worked together. We were working together on something. And then Untanga was giving me weird vibes, you know.
Sure.
Like yeah, don't be rocking that T-shirt around these parts no more, son. It was afraid of Tongayas, you know. Yeah, something like that. So I was taken aback, like, oh damn, I just got now threatened over a T-shirt. Cool, sharp. So I let it slide. It doesn't turn into a thing, you know.
Okay.
I'm a peace merchant, guys.
You're a hippie, basically, a modern hippie. You're a peace-loving person.
No, I could have easily went, oh yeah, how about you cheat, how about you, you know, but I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So I let it go. Sharp. And then, yeah, this is the 2nd of March. It was on a Saturday, my birthday. Cool. Fast forward, Monday, I have to meet Enzo, right? For our meeting to discuss. All right, you know, where to from here? Cool. So before we even begin talking, I'm like, hey, bruh, this past weekend, I was in your hood in DK. Some dude saw me with a T-shirt. You know, it almost turned into a thing. And then he's like, what guy? Describe him. So I describe him. Tanga. So. He's like, oh man, I know that guy. Yeah, he was part of the organizers, well, part of the movement of and yeah, there's still some you know, weird vibes there. Yeah, bro. So he's like, yeah, ish, man, this story, this Slaghuis will always follow me around. I just wish someone would just, you know, tell the story and just so that everyone can tell their side of the story. He said that. Sure. And yeah, he said that, and I was standing right there. And I was, yeah, and light bulb, ding. Yeah, so I was like, hey man, you know, if you don't mind, you know, cause Enzo is, he's an actual filmmaker. I'm not a filmmaker. I was never a filmmaker. I was just a fan. He's an actual filmmaker, content creator, like one of the best there is, right? So he could have easily, you know, taken upon himself to tell the story. But he was like, okay, here's this kid. You know, he's part of the culture. So let's see what he does, right? So he gave me contact details of everyone I needed to sit with and ask questions about. You know, we ran through some ballpark questions. And then, yeah, I hit everyone up. I called, I emailed, I WhatsApped, I begged, I cried, you know, and then that's how it happened. That's how the talkie came together. And then, yeah, so it wasn't just me. It was myself and Teddy Broski, editor, shout out, and Time Zone, Time Zone, shout out. So wow. Time Zone was the one who was actually conducting most of the interviews. So if I wasn't rolling with him that day, I would conduct the interviews. If he was there, he would conduct, because he has a like a solid radio background, so he knows how to like interview and he knows how to like do the whole, you know, so that's why we had him on board. So we knocked that out in all the interviews, or at least the ones that showed up. We knocked it out in like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. And then the interviews. Yeah, the interviews. And then we went down to
the interviews, not the actual editing.
No. Just the interviews. Just the interviews. Cause yo, I was for example, I'd be on some, yo, man, can I interview you? And then they're like, whatever, no. And I'm like, come on, man, the culture needs this, man.
Yeah.
You know, so lots of delays, ups and downs, but yeah, 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks, can't remember clearly, but yeah, we knocked down the interviews, sat down, edited. I had my beats ready. And side note, I'm a beat maker. Like that's like my main hustle, right? And
that.
Yeah. But to date, no one has ever like given me props for the beats that play in the podcast. That's yeah. Then that just goes to show just how powerful the story is, because everyone just forgets. Yeah. Oh, go and Jilisha. Everyone forgets, but it's fine. Whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, we edited, and then yeah, we had a young documentary film.
That is so dope. That is so dope. So, if you could describe, what were your biggest challenges actually making the docu film? What did you feel were the biggest challenges?
Two things. Firstly, it was getting to interview the people, cause like no one wanted to, like most of them did not want to talk about it, you know.
Okay.
I did a lot. Like one of the people that I interviewed, G.O.A.T, who was one of the hosts of Slaghuis. Yeah, he was very, very reluctant. He actually hit up Enzo and like, hey man, who's the SPeeKa kid that's busy, you know, on my camera? And then like, hey man, he just wants to tell our story. Send it to the kid, you know. And then he was like, alright, give him the go ahead, I will. And then with him, funny story, we rocked up because every time we'd call him, he wouldn't pick up. So we just rocked up unannounced. And then we found him. He was like, hey, brah, let's do this.
Wow.
Sure. Let's do this. And then we interviewed him. So that's the first thing. Just getting to pin people down to talk. Secondly, it was emotionally exhausting. It was like, it was this individual. Slaghuis was a big deal, right, to everyone who was involved. And there was a lot of drama and people, you know, there was a lot of energies.
A lot of conflicts that happen. A lot of politics happen.
So you're sitting there, and this person is telling you, man, oh man, fuck that guy. Man, that guy doesn't know. That guy, So imagine doing that, you know, every weekend or whenever we managed to get through. So every now and then.
This was for 3 weeks as well.
Yeah, so and some interviews were darker than others. You know, so yeah, the whole sitting down and ish. I remember this one time. After this one interview, I was with Teddy Broski, and then after the interview, we both looked at each other and was like, "Dog, this is too much. This is too much. I don't want to give up," but we were just acknowledging what it. Yo, man, we're feeling.
Of course.
So that was the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah, I think from what you just told me is that I think the most important thing that you had, which you were very fortunate to experience, was the support of like basically your crew to keep on motivating you, because I know that it is so hard to sometimes carry on without the support of, like, you know, your day ones or people who support basically support your endeavors. So I just want to also know from you as to what were the biggest lessons that you learned from making you know, the docu film. And shout out to everyone that's watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it.
I mean, besides the fact that that's how I found out that Slaghuis was just Enzo. Until then, because I mean, Enzo is like, you know, he's a hood legend, you know. So from my perspective, at the time, he was Mr. Slaghuis. So up until then, I thought it was just him, and then only to find out, oh no, there are more people.
Yeah.
So the biggest lesson from that is that human beings, it's not guaranteed that things will, especially with us young people, you know, because the thing that we have to understand as well is that as much as there was drama amongst everyone, passion, you know, it was so intense that, I mean, obviously there was conflict, especially if some people are more passionate than others, you know. So yeah, I kind of looked at my situation, because I mean, I at the time I had people that I worked with, but we didn't like officially call ourselves like a team. Yeah, it was just like that I was always around. But I always envisioned or imagined, hey, what would happen, really, if someone came through and gave us like 100K?
Yeah. And it's so funny you should say that, because like sorry to interrupt, like it's so funny you should say that, because remember, even the last time that we had spoken, I had mentioned that one of the most important points that was in the talkie was that one of the guests that were on there even said that, listen, if you were to put 20K on the table amongst your friends, we're gonna see how long that loyalty lasts for, you know. So that you bring up that point.
Yeah. So huge lesson there. Huge, massive.
Yeah. No, that's really dope. And are there any local docies that you actually enjoy watching that you get inspiration from?
Yo, local. Just last week, I came across. Oh man, I forgot the title, but it was on YouTube. It was a documentary about G.O.A.T, and it was actually released in 2002. And it was done by I think they're from Denmark or one of those countries so those guys came through this side and just documented, you know, our G.O.A.T and interviewed Zambia in the talkies, like you know, Abu Cabello, and it was so beautifully done, you know. So that's one. But mostly the stuff that I was fortunate enough to work with Enzo on over the last 2 years or so. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Because we did that pro docu, the hip hop effects. There's the G.O.A.T documentary. Yeah. So yeah, there aren't that many local docus, but every time I stumble across one, it's always dope to see, you know. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. And then tell me about your feeling of you've been working your butt off of this documentary film, and you win an award from overseas. How did that I just want to know as to what the feeling was.
I mean, obviously.
Explain to us actually, how did that actually like happen as well?
Okay. So we dropped the docu in June 2019, right? And then we dropped it June 2019 on YouTube for free. you know, because that was the whole point, right? I wasn't trying to you know like make money off of it or whatever. It was just here's the story. Let the people see. So someone, I'm not sure if it was Enzo or if it was Time Zone, but someone was like, "Hey, bruh, have you entered this in festivals?" And I was like, "Oh, word? Oh, Koji, I'm a filmmaker now. Yeah, right, right. Yeah. So I went online. There's a site called Film Freeway, and then you go there, and then they give you all these festivals like throughout the world, like Berlin, but most of them you have to pay, and yeah, you know, so I couldn't afford to enter the ones where you needed to pay. So I came across this one, the hip hop film festival, free entry. I was like, oh, it's free. Why not? Submitted, and I think, yeah. I'm not sure if I found others as well, but yeah. So it's free, and
you just go for it.
Now I'm saying, so I submitted, and then cool, and just forgot about it.
Yeah.
This is September 2019, right? Fast forward to last year in, I think, was it March or April? I can't remember if it was pre-lockdown or during lockdown, but I got the news that your film has been accepted into. No, it was during lockdown. Film has been accepted into the New York Film Festival. Congratulations, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh! So I called everyone. Teddy Broski, dog! Ah, New York!
You are just going crazy.
Yeah, Time's out and Enzo! Ah! Yeah, cool, sharp. But then at the time, you know, pandemic. We're not on. Go there. We're like, okay, whatever. Hopefully, in a few months, this will be done, and then we'll get an opportunity to go over there and watch how film, you know, being played. Cool. Few months later, get word that, okay, sharp, you're in the festival, but you guys have also been nominated in the category of best documentary film. Again, nominated! 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 Sharp. Fast forward again to the evening of the actual awards ceremony, which took place online.
Yeah, then, of course.
So I remember I was watching, right? And then when they announced this year the film, the winner for best documentary, and then bam, because when they announced the winner, they play your trailer. Yeah. When my trailer came
wow.
Yo, then, okay, I watched, you know, afterwards they were like, yeah, congratulations, SPeeKa. Oh man, great docu, well, beautiful story, well done, blah, 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 blah. Cool. I abandoned the award show in time, like, okay, cool, I stop. Then I start making calls. I'm like, yo, Enzo, what? Yo, you what? You know, and then I called my parents, you know, my pops still alive at the time. And I told them, yo, you know, we won, to my pops. And that would actually end up being my last conversation with my dad, you know. So it's a beautiful thing that our last conversation was him congratulating me, for and he was like, oh, so let's go America, bitch. Hey, man,
Hey.
I don't know, pandemic, I don't know, but yeah. So it was, man. Yeah, it was dope, man. I think more than anything, it was. I mean, fine.
Yeah.
I had won the 10K challenge at Back to the City a few years before, but for this one in particular, because it was a story about Kasi Rap and Slaghuis, and the fact that these like Americans were watching it and it resonated, and they were like, man, this is so dope. It's an award. That was everything. It was everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a comment here from Wood saying that it's a really great thing that, obviously he got to experience this moment with you. And, shout outs to Dad for actually understanding. I always say this to creatives, that it's so important when your parents understand your journey, because they'll be like, doki filmmaker, I don't understand that. And I'm not, you need to be either a lawyer, a bank accountant, things that are going to bring you money into the house. So it's always such a great thing that at least, your father got to understand your journey and actually got to experience the joy that you felt as well. I mean, parents, got to experience the joy that you felt. So after that, and when was the celebration? I know that it was during lockdown, but I'm sure you had a celebration as well. Over winning.
No, the celebration, just me doing this for like an hour.
Yes, that was good. And then, quite a lot of people, would want to do something along your lines, of creating sort of like history or documenting history. But the problem, like you said, Thelete is probably the problem of, wanting to create something, because there are lots of stories that are out there. I mean, even when, I do these interviews, you find out stories of how, Spanban did this and everything like that. And, finding that out, you have to have passion for it. What would be your advice for someone that wants to document, history for like other genres that are also happening as well? What would be your advice?
Man, like Nike says, man, just do it. like just do it. And the cool thing is that, especially if you're gonna be like documenting people that are not within your reach, we have this monster called the internet, right? Where fine, our stuff isn't like, our stuff isn't as well documented as like, say, American hip hop culture. American hip hop culture, I always say this, like, always look at American culture with the greenest eye of envy, man. Like, those people, if you type there Rakim first ever interview, boom, you'll find it. Everything is so well documented, and with us, not so much. But the internet is always a good place to start. It's always a good place to start. So if you do have passion, if you have the passion in you, like, if you already have the passion, then you're good to go. You're good to go. Everything else you'll find along the way. But if the passion is there, if that fire, keep going. Just whatever.
Yeah. Yes, and I see that also a part of your resume, you are also a producer and voiceover artist as well. That's another thing that you do. Now, speak to me about your producing. Do you produce like a lot of, because you're quite a fanatic of it, a lot of Kasi rap, hip hop that goes on, or the other genres that you also go into as well?
When I started making beats, I started making kwaito.
Okay.
And only because at the time I was actually part of a Kwaito group.
Yeah.
And we couldn't afford beats, so we just sort of looked at each other and said, all right, then I guess one of us has to make. I have a beat. So in the crew, I was the only one with a PC. So we're like, hey man, you have a PC, can't you make beats there? And then my next door neighbor, shout out, hooked me up.
Wow.
Umlalo hooked me up with FL Studio 3. This is 2005. Hooked me up with FL Studio 3. Like, he literally came in the one day, he's like, hey man, here it is. So what you do is you click that if you want that, and you click that, and you click that, and that's how you make a beat. Peace. And he left. I was like,
huh?
And then, and then
literally, your face could be a meme. The way you were like, huh? Really?
Yeah. So, and that's how I started making beats. So I started making beats for our crew, the G.O.A.T. So for a good few months, I was only making quite the beats for me and the team. Shout out to Kabza, shout out to Enzo, my crew, Bloodhounds representing all day. They want me. So so yeah, so I was making beats for the crew. Needless to say, beats were terrible because come on, man. Senior break, I had like a few. I was 16. I was still in high school. I thought I was Kanye. So yeah, the beats were terrible. But over time, I then started messing around with hip hop beats. Like, the thing is, with hip hop beats, I was always intimidated to start making because I felt, power. Yo, I'm not trained. I'm not Kanye. I was intimidated, but once I made the first one, I found myself then making more hip hop beats than quite. And then I also did house. I literally to this day have like an entire folder with all my house joints that one day I'll release as a compilation. Yeah. So it's mostly hip hop.
Yes. You must just say crazy kids. You must just say crazy.
Yeah. So it's hip hop / kasi rap, Kwaito, and house. Those are the three genres that I've been messing with for the 16 years that I've been making beats.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really dope. Wow. And then have you like ever worked with someone famous? Because I saw people that follow you is Tweezy, and Tweezy is quite a big name within the industry. So I was just like, hey, I wonder what's the connection here. I know producing probably, but I really wonder what the connection is here.
Okay. Well, let me see. See, the thing with me. Let me not say I've worked with big names.
Okay.
Like I haven't been in studio with like a multi-platinum selling artist or whatever. However, I have been in studio with artists who have went on to become
we need names, Chief. We need names. We need names here. We need names so that people can.
Before I name drop, just a young disclaimer, because here's what most people get wrong. Like, they get completely wrong, right? I did not discover any of these artists. I did not discover them. Their success. I was just there. I did not discover them. People will say, SPeeKa discovered them. Yeah, that's why now they're famous. They forgot him. All lies. All lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, all lies. Yeah. So.
But you collaborated with them, right? It's fair to say that you collaborated with them.
Yeah. But before they became. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
okay, name drop alert. drum roll. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so some of the artists that I worked with ages ago, the Soil, Samthing Soweto. Now, these two groups in particular, either Soil, Samthing Soweto, when Samthing Soweto was still part of the Soil. Now, working with them is probably the best thing that has ever happened to my career as a producer, right?
Okay.
Why? Because before I met them, yeah. Before I met them, I was tone deaf. Like I literally couldn't pick up if umuntu uyabhimba and was off key or whatever.
Okay.
You know. So
right.
I was fortunate enough to be in some of their rehearsals. So they'd be like practicing a song, and then all of a sudden, like, to me, I'm hearing like these amazing voices. I'm losing my mind, like, wow, these guys are incredible. And then they stop, and then one of the guys would tell the others, like, "Ay, off key da." I was like, "No, it wasn't. That was perfect." Like, yeah, and then the other guy would say, "Yeah, I'm a ring of iron. Okay, let me try it again." And then so that I then started noticing on some of my old beats that I wouldn't make up Pimbana. So them they shaped my ear to be able to pick up. Before that, everything was just
bland, and it was just ordinary.
Yeah. So I'll forever be grateful. They don't owe me anything. They've done more than enough. So yeah, shout out to them. I will love them forever. Now, so it's the Soil, Samthing Soweto. I was studio with Red Patin. In fact, Red Patin, my beat tag, the SPeeKa. That's his voice. Yeah, that's his voice. Yeah. Who else? Yeah. Big Zulu. I won't say I worked with him in studio, because what happened was, with him, I had made a beat for Uma 7. I don't know if you know Uma 7. He's very dope. So I made a beat for him, and then they happened to be in studio one day collaborating on something. Then Seven was like, "Hey man, I have this beat SPeeKa gave me. Let's work on this." So he gave him that beat, and the song became his, featuring Uma 7 on my beat. So I got the production credit, but I didn't necessarily produce. I wasn't in studio with them to like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So there's him. I've worked with Usiashezi, Abo Chakatola, and then with Tweezy, because I know that's the reason you were asking. With Tweezy, it was in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. In 2011, we were working on a mixtape called Danger Box. It was myself, Uma 7, SPeeKa, and X-Ray, right? So yeah, it was the four of us. I was the main producer on the project, but they also got other producers to jump on the project as well. One of those producers was Tweezy. At the time, he went by N20.
Okay.
Right. Fun, we recorded that entire project at Samthing Soweto's studio in 20. Wow. Right. Yeah. 11. So that's what. Sure. That's how I first met Tweezy. In fact, the first time I met him, he was in school uniform. He went to NSA, National School of the Arts, and I was with Uspuda P, and we bumped into him to do that. And then we got a studio together. Heard his beats, I knew immediately what you know, and sure enough, I mean, who's Tweezy, yo? You know who's Tweezy. I know.
Yeah.
One of the my personal of all the new producers, the new guys that are killing.
He's definitely top. And top. What's a project you love by Utwizi? I'm gonna give him credit, Shay. Like, what's a project that you love by Utwizi? Because you say that, hey, this guy is actually doing the thing. So is there a personal project that you love by him?
His production on E levels. Like I always tell people that AKA's Levels sounds like a greatest hits album, and the main reason for that is because of Utwizi, right? There's that, and then there are his God Level beat tapes. He's got a beat tape series called God Level.
Yeah.
If you get time, check it out. Incredible. Like he's like chooses the code. Yeah, and then his production for other people as well. Yeah, I'm a huge Tweezy fan. Huge.
Yeah. No, definitely he's blessed with good ears, G, because wow, his work is amazing. But all in all, SPeeKa, man, you know, the work that you've done as well is also incredible, and one cannot ever dispute you know, the things that you know, which is so important. I mean, you know, documenting, you know, a whole film of a culture that probably other people wouldn't even, you know, take into consideration, but the fact that you and your friends took the time that, listen, we're going to do the things, and basically you're going to win an award.
Thank you.
You've also got to take that into consideration. So huge props on that.
All props to Enzo, right? Because he's sort of like he was like the heart of us, you know, kicking off work on the docu, and yeah, so with him, like I was so like inspired that like our relationship moved from him just being like a guy that I was working with on a few projects and a subject in my documentary, to him being just a full-on mentor, you know. So when he walks, I'm just sitting there, you know, taking notes, like, oh, okay. So I give all props to him. Shout out to TTP there, shout out to JNA. About to squash.
I love how you credit people. Wow, I love how you credit everyone, which is very, very important within, you know, obviously the creative industry. And what would be your advice to someone who would also like to, you know, obviously follow into your footsteps of being a producer, a voiceover artist, and also a content creator, basically? What would be your advice to them, or just as a creative overall?
Like again, just do it, because I'll tell you about myself, right? What happened was in like 2013, I stopped like pursuing the creative arts, making beats, all of that. I stopped to go work 9 to 5 because I was like, hey man, what are you gonna do? You know, at 2013, I had a 2-year-old at the time. I thought I was 2 at the time. Gotta bring in the box, you know.
Yeah.
But just to prove that if something like is who you are, like you cannot escape who you are, because what happened was I'd be at work, right? I work in a call center. So practically say 90% of my lunch breaks or meal breaks was me at my desk with headphones on, either listening to beats that I made or on YouTube watching music videos by our Shezi, your AKAs, just being within the culture. You know, I couldn't escape it. And to a point where 3 years later, it got so, like, my misery at my workplace got so intense. I dropped everything. I quit with no plan, nothing saved. I just quit because I couldn't take it anymore. Based off of the advice of the late great WHP, after listening to his interview with Gareth Cliff, where he spoke about attempting suicide 3 times, and how what made him eventually stop trying to take his own life was, hey man, if I'm gonna die, let me just do whatever it is that I love doing and let that kill me, right? I'm not kidding when I say I listened to that interview every single night before going to bed for at least a month. And then I finally built up the courage to quit my job without any explanation, nothing planned. And then since then, just following the love I have for culture and music and film. Since that decision of deciding to quit my 9 to 5 and just doing this and letting this kill me, everything that I've done, everything that I've done has been one step, to somewhere else. For example, when I quit that same year, the same month I quit, that's when I started my web series Sotra Ciphers. I started that while serving my notice at my 9 to 5, right? So that happened.
Wow.
After I quit, right? A few months later, just from me constantly being on Facebook and talking about hip hop and music and all of that, a Facebook friend of mine inboxed me on some EPRA. There's a learnership at the SABC for sound technology. Why don't you check that out? I was like, word? Yeah. As well as since Bella, I want to take this music production thing seriously. Let me shoot my shot. Went there, did the interview, and then met some amazing people. Shout out to Chene, Yarchi, shout out to Skele, shout out to One Machola. It's my homies. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I met them, and then after a year and a half or so, graduated, got like an actual qualification in sound technology, which then led that qualification led me to working with Enzo, because Enzo, working with him and his company, he wears the he only hire graduates. So I hadn't gotten that qualification. Then all of the stuff that I did with Where's the Beat regarding the pro documentary, the hip hop effects, it wouldn't have happened had I not done the learnership at the SAPC. So just the mere act of saying, "Hey man, this is what I love, and I'm gonna do no matter what," has led me to then working with Enzo, doing a docu about him, winning international awards, all from saying, "I'm gonna let what I love kill me," and that's sort of the mantra that I live by. Like I'm gonna keep pursuing this thing that I love until it kills me. So to anyone who has that bit of doubt, on some should I? Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should. Right? Because at the end of the day, like our art, as a creative, your art is all you have. It's all you have. It's all you have. Like we live in the toilet of a world, right? And if you are able to express yourself creatively, even if it's for a moment to briefly escape whatever it is that is happening, you know, like do that, like grab that with both arms. I mean, these are dark times. It's a dark world, period, regardless of a pandemic or not. It's a dark world. So if you're able to focus your energy on your craft, on what you love doing, by all means, do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Man.
Like, let it kill you. Let it kill you.
Preach. We are in church right now. There was a query here as to where can one stream the Pro documentary, because quite a lot of us have been fans. Can I just ask, was it the one that was done on SABC one? I think it was Utinungo Pro, something along those lines. Was it that documentary? Oh, okay. And I know it was like a documentary, if I'm not mistaken.
2 parts,
So
2 parts,
yes. 2 parts, my mistake. So where could we get it or stream it?
Well, unfortunately it's not available online. At the moment, you just have to hope that the SABC repeats it or something. But because the docu actually it belongs to Pro's family. So if they decide to have streaming services, then that's where, but at the moment, unless if I'm missing something, it's not available anywhere. Just go there to SABC One's timeline and ask.
Wow. No, man, an amazing conversation, and I'm happy that we got to redo it again and just basically discuss your journey. You've had quite an eventful journey, and before we leave, I just want to know from you, where to from here? Like, I know lockdown has not been easy, but you've clearly got that fire that has kept you going, the passion and everything of that nature. So where to from here?
All right. So at the moment, I'm still working on the my web series Sotra Ciphers. So I'll still be putting those episodes. And recently I had the privilege of having the great Emphatic Tabs in an episode. So that was pretty cool. Shout out to him. So I'll still be doing those, and then I have a few EPs that I'll be dropping with Ignition, incredible MC from K1, Infected, incredible MC from Enzo Soweto, Chakadola, incredible MC from Mfolo, and then Nomtizo as well, and I have a tape with Uchef as well in the works. I'm working on some stuff with waaaay as well. So music-wise, I'll still be dropping some stuff. And then in terms of documentaries and content, we're currently working on a little something.
Yes, right. I'm here for it.
It's a documentary, but let's keep this between us. It's a documentary about
and obviously people that are watching this, of course.
Of course. So we're working on a young documentary about South African battle rap. It's gonna be dope. Can't wait for that to be done. And then and some others, and another documentary as well that unfortunately I can't say.
It's all good, but we understand.
But when it drops, you will know.
Yes.
Like, you will know. You'll be on some, this is what he was talking about. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. And then on my end, I'm also trying to put together, because this year Sotra Cyphers turns 5 years, so I'm trying to do a young documentary of sorts about the last 5 years. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm busy just writing, you know, the script and the outline and everything. So that's going to be pretty dope as well. So yeah, and then there'll be, I guess, some singles there and there. Yeah, so that's me. I mean, man, as long as there's like music to be made and stuff like that, you best believe I'll be working.
Of course, of course.
Until it kills me.
Yeah, man. Like, is there any? Yes.
One more thing. Sorry. Ah! Oh, shout out to G.O.A.T for the reminder. I recently linked up with Slaghuis, because you know he has the KZN lockdown cipher.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So he approached me on some, hey man, why don't you hook up a few cats from Gauteng? I'll hook up a few cats from KZN. We merge and make it a thing. So there's going to be a KZN lockdown cipher meets Sotra ciphers. That's going to be dropping.
Okay.
That's going to be fire.
Okay. I see it. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. SPeeKa and everyone else that has been commenting, thank you so much, and thank you for your time as well. One last comment before we end this interview. How can one shadow you? Because clearly you've done quite a lot of work, so one would obviously want to shadow you. So how does that happen? Or contact you?
Ish. You see now. Ish.
Ooh, wow.
Now, okay, listen. Shadowing. It's that's.
But okay, let me put it this way. How does one contact you at least? Can we contact? Can we DM you? Can we email you? Are you available to do that?
Yeah. Email. The DMs on Twitter, Insta, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, Insta. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, but you must know that sometimes the
replies,
DMs get to be a little bit too much, and I can't reply to all. So yeah. Usbongile is asking who put my intellect. Put my intellect is this character that that I invented that appears in some of my EPs. So
sure.
So he's next the tape with Infectis is there. The tape with Ignition is there. So he's not coming in. My intellect, yeah. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But SPeeKa, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. My name is Zama Khumalo from Itheku Connect, culture curator, and it has been nothing but a pleasure having you. Thank you to everyone that joined us. This has been an amazing conversation. I know this is going to be the first of many because I can see what I know. The work is there and everything. And funny enough, not funny enough. Sorry. But this has just been a great conversation. That's all I could just say. And I've really, really enjoyed learning about your journey, learning the fact that, you never gave up and just like you said, just do it. That's the most important thing. Just do it.
Let it kill you, son.
All right, man. You have yourself a great night, and thanks again to everyone for joining, and it really has been amazing. Till the next time.
Yo, Zama, thank you for letting me blab. Man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Next time. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's been real, and I am out.
Hey.
Thanks, man.